So I had a guy on my 25-yard line group with the XS Big Dot Sights video ask a good question, or basically made the statement that that group at 25 yards with XS Big Dot Sights was with a full-size weapon. What would that group look like with a 3.5-inch barrel? And so I happen to have my shield with me at work. Come on down to the range. I've got a full magazine and one in the chamber, so 9 total rounds, and my Smith & Wesson M&P Shield running the XS Big Dot Sights. As you can see here, I got a 25-yard target hanging. And since everybody has been giving me so much crap about the anatomy that I drew on that target, that's not where the heart is, the lungs aren't that big, I've made sure to be extremely accurate with the anatomy on this target, which I feel like you will appreciate when I bring it back in. So without further ado, high center mass on the target. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go center mass. Not great shot placement for a defensive, but just in case this group is spread out a little bit with this shorter barrel at this distance, I want to make sure we capture it all on paper. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm going to go 2 hands standing, isosceles, unsupported, with the XS Big Dot Sights on the M&P Shield. We'll bring the target back in, 9-shot group, and we'll talk about it. This is cold. I have no idea what this group's going to look like. I haven't shot this weapon at this distance with these sights in some time. Don't tell anybody. I know that's a horrible thing to say. So let's just see what we're rolling with here. It's a bad trick. All right, so, whoa, apparently I blasted the camera down. So I just kind of put the front sight right in the middle of the target. Now, here's what you're going to find interesting. First off, I think you will find that the anatomy is super accurate on this target, so I don't want to hear any complaining about my anatomy here. Obviously, I've put the heart right where it goes, in the face. The brain is down here, sort of just right of center mass. We've got the ear here. Obviously, the eye and nose is where it is accurately. And then, of course, the butt cheeks, right where they go behind the rib cage there. So now that we've moved past the anatomy of the target, here's the 9-shot group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not the best group in the world, but it is what it is for 25 yards out of this little bitty gun. Now, I was putting the front sight here, and as I expected, the shots are going to be a little low. Now, if you read the instructions on the Big Dot Sights, what it tells you to do, now I'll see if I can get this in frame here. If you look at that big dot in the front, you'll see that there's like a tritium vial in the middle. Okay, I'm trying to get that to focus. Where are we at? Where are we at? I'm sorry, y'all. This is a cell phone camera. You know me. I'm super high budget here. What they tell you to do at 25 yards is, instead of making the lollipop at the bottom of the dot, to put the vial, the tritium vial, basically on top of the valley, the line in the valley on that rear sight, which is what I did. For some reason, and I remember this now, and now that I'm shooting this group, for some reason when I do that with the shield at 25 yards, it shoots low, as you might imagine it would by dropping the front sight lower in the valley. With my full size, with my XD, it shot point of impact, point of aim when I use that sort of sight alignment. So obviously with any gun, especially if you're running a type of sights that you aren't typically going to run, it's important for you to actually run your ammo, and I think run the ammo you're going to carry to see how it patterns with that specific ammo and your specific gun and how you align the sights, so on and so forth. Now, that doesn't mean adjust for a bad trigger pull, and if you're jerking the trigger and shooting low, like if this was low to the left or right, then no, I wouldn't adjust to that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run this back out to 25 yards and use the standard sight picture with a lollipop sight, or what XS calls an express sight picture. And there's some historical relevancy there. So if you XD running a Trigicon RMR red dot sight, most guns, defense handguns, are going to come with a notch and post sight. This would be considered what's called an express sight picture. Okay, people call it a lollipop or whatever, a ball in a valley. A technical term is express sight picture. There's some historical relevancy going back to big game hunters. That's what they called it. When I actually talked, because I was helping write some legislation for the state of Alabama for armed officers, and defining some terms legally, like weapon of same type, I had to define various types of sighting systems on handguns, and the law is going to read express for that sight picture. So once again, historical relevancy, it's found its way into state legislation now because I sneaked it in there. So it is an express sight picture. That's what we need to start calling it, folks. Anyway, I'm going to run it back out there, and instead of using the tritium vial at 25 yards, I'm going to use the standard express sight picture with the ball right at the top, or the bottom of the ball right at the top of the line in the valley, and let's see if that makes point of impact, point of aim. Okay, I tried to support the camera a little better so hopefully it doesn't fall down. Same gun, same stance, two-hand, unsupported, full light, Saucilles. M&P Shield 9mm, same full metal jacket, factory load from 0, 115 grain, 9mm. Same point of aim, I'm just going to use a different type of alignment, the standard express sight alignment, and see if it pulls those shots back, the point of impact to point of aim on this 3.5-inch barreled shield. I forgot to top my chamber off. Let me do that. Okay. All right. At least the camera didn't fall over this time. I've been told before that I should edit out the targets moving back. And I tried that once, and everybody said that I swapped the targets out. So you just have to watch the target movement. All right. Ta-da. Point of impact, point of aim. So let's just verify. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I jerked the trigger one time a little bit. That one's on me, so let's forget that little bit of guy. Here's the same group. So group is relatively the same size. And right there, point of impact, point of aim. I was trying to put it right here, center mass with the brain, between the brain and the ear, center mass on the chest, just like in the real world. And anyway, what's the point I'm trying to make? They work. XS big dot sights work. They're accurate, even at 25 yards with a little bitty gun. And the garbagest, cheapest factory load ammo I could buy. Now, once again, now that I got this in frame, here's the standard express sight picture I was using for that second group. In the first group, I was using this one. Okay? Which stands to reason why I would shoot lower in that sight presentation, but that is what's recommended for long-range shots with a big dot sight. So, when you get these sights, trust that they work. If you get out there and shoot a low group or a goofy group, whatever, it's probably just you, okay? But if you know your fundamentals are sound, and you're shooting good ammo and all that other stuff, then maybe you just need to adjust the sight presentation. Anywho, only thing I'm going to do, which has nothing to do with this video, so only those of you who have stuck through this entire video are going to get to see this little sneak peek of what's coming next. I sort of just showed you something by showing you the Trijicon RMR. The XD is looking a little crazy at the moment, and expect a full video discussing all of the things that you see here. This thing is a beast. It is not finished. The RMR will be permanently milled into the slide and have a new compensator coming. Details to come on that. So appreciate you tuning in. I don't want to hear any garbage about my anatomy. Obviously this is perfect. This is basically something they could use in an anatomy class. XS Big Dot sights, once again, they work.